I don't get it wrong. Mike versus
Mike versus
SHrulez from Div 1. Now, Fuzzy, you said this was the match you were most looking forward to. Why is that?
I am. So, slight little bit of bias we'll have to put aside. These two both members of Clump, which I may or may not be part of. But both of them very strong players. SHrulez is a very methodical player. He knows the game in and out. He knows how to play. SHrulez's only weakness, I would say, for him is his combat. We've all seen the clips for the weeks of SHrulez LG. It's probably it's a bit of a meme at this point. He can hit hard. He can hit hard though. So we're going to need to see the SHrulez who hits the good LG, hits those rails when he needs them, hits the rockets. Mike, he is just a very strong all-round player. Got great aim, great movement, great game sense. Everything about his game is very strong. I think we're going to have to lean towards Mike in this one, or Feet Wind as he's in game.
Feet Wind. That's a hell of a name.
Yeah.
Man. I'm just 3 letters. He's got a whole...
He's got a whole thing going around. Yeah,
it's making me question a lot about my life right now.
Well, if you have letters, use them. That's what he's thinking.
It's a good shout. It's a good shout. Yeah, I think from what you're telling me though, Mike versus SHrulez, I'm more compelled by SHrulez. There's nothing interesting about an all-rounder. Come on. I want to see a player who has some struggles, who has the same sort of powerful personal defects that I have that prevent me from really achieving my best in life and indeed in Quake.
Someone you can relate to, I see.
That's it, exactly. I'm not perfect, and neither is SHrulez, and I love that. Whereas Mike, he taunts me with his quality. But yeah, so we are going to get into this one. Do we have any inklings of where the map pool and where the champion picks are going to go here, Jones?
So map 1 is going to be Veil of Math. SHrulez has picked Sorlag. Mike has picked Eisen.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like both picks here. Sorlag, of course, with the movement. Eisen will have that turret. Will be able to have more control over those fights. Of course, SHrulez, if he uses the movement well enough, he'll be able to dodge those fights, of course. So that's going to be a bit of a chess match in that way. For map number 2, it will be Awoken. We'll have Mike on Death Knight and SHrulez on Ranger. It's a matchup we've seen a lot lately.
Yeah, Death Knight really coming into their own with the recent patch. Just basically should win every fight as long as the ability is up, but Ranger always makes that complicated and can get over the fire more easily than most.
Oh no, looks like we've had a wrong grinder link.
God damn it.
So forget all of that. Alright, so map 1 turns out it's Corrupted Keep.
I love
Corrupted
it.
Keep. Mike on Sorlag, SHrulez on Ranger.
Okay.
So same with Sorlag, a lot of movement, a lot of stack, able to use that movement well, can force the fights that he wants and escape the ones he doesn't want.
In a more roundabout way, Ranger does achieve similar things, but obviously with the orb and with
and the cheaper rocket jumps, yes.
Exactly. Which I think is especially important on Corrupted because oftentimes, even if you could go really fast, you don't want to cross somewhere on other maps because the rail will hit you no matter how fast you're going. But with Corrupted Keep, as long as you're outside of that LG range, you don't really have to worry about anyone impeding your movement.
You do have to worry about a little bit of that machine gun damage.
A little bit, yeah.
But it does not stop your movement at all, so you can move a little bit freer. Yeah, but both champions a little bit similar in a way. It will be fun to see how Mike uses the Sorlag stack advantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is... Our chat is still saying this is the wrong grinder, but it's the one I got, so we'll see if it's correct.
I mean, I think we have it in game, but apparently it's... I mean, in game, in the party chat, SHrulez is saying,
we're on the right
I would
one.
hope that he knows. I would
Yeah,
hope.
it's Corrupted Keep, Map 1, Awoken 2, Veil 3. It's the one that
There you
SHrulez just posted on Discord.
Hey, we managed it. We managed it. We're gonna get into the game shortly, and then we don't have to worry about all these confusing links that require us to draft maps and champions with a pick ban system. Thank you, Syncera. You remember the good old days? It was just like, what server you on? Good times.
Good
That's
times,
a
yeah.
long time ago.
Feetwind is
Barely
ready.
remember.
SHrulez is ready. You're excited about this match, so Fuzzy, join me, won't you? As we get into our first Div 1 match of the day.
Yeah, take it away, boys.
I'm looking forward to this.
I'm all about SHrulez. I'm all about the tortured artist, the compromised man. You know, because what is life without a little bit of compromise? Whereas Mike,
I'll double down on that.
yeah,
Mike is, yeah, he's gonna be. I think he's gonna try and abuse. He knows these two know each other very well, so Mike's gonna know his way around SHrulez. So he's gonna try and abuse that. And so, yeah, I'm banking on SHrulez here.
let's go, SHrulez. Let's go. Because we are going to get into Corrupted Keep, my favorite map in the entirety of Quake Champions, which is weird because I'm a rel heavy player. But look, I never said I made any sense. I just am here. That's all you can ask. Yeah, so if I remember correctly, it was the Sorlag who does well on this map. Shotgun's obviously a big deal on this map. As I feel like it increasingly is in Quake Champions, Rafa kind of taking the lead on that has gone, oh, SSG, it's good. It's real good. Which we've known for a while, but I still feel like that's slowly moving that direction. So Sorlag versus Ranger, as we say, they've both got mobility in very different ways. The Sorlag a little bit more direct. SHrulez is going to have to use a little bit of discipline when it comes to these rocket jumps still, and of course the orb isn't that regular. I'm on board with Feetwind, otherwise known as Mike, as he will be already putting some acid out.
Extremely aggressive here from him. He's going around. Yeah, he's going to need this shotgun for this fight. Or seeing the orb into a shotgun is going to be a real good way to destroy this stack on the Sorlag. But fantastic spam rocket there immediately.
And that does complicate things in a big way. But of course, Sorlag doesn't have really a way of pushing into this LG very easily. But should SHrulez be taking this fight? We see Mike back up onto the Mega, and he could well get to the Heavy as well. SHrulez was banking on a kill there.
So Mike using that speed really well. SHrulez was not ready for him to take that Heavy and get out there so quick. And now we see Mike get all his weapons and taking away these shards from SHrulez. That's also going to be a big thing. While SHrulez doesn't have this orb up, he's got no way of getting in and out fast of these engagements. Well, there's that burst damage you can get from it. But great LG here from SHrulez. And Mike is really low. And the super shotgun, and SHrulez will take the first frag on the Mega.
Another fight, but SHrulez doesn't win this one. The LG wasn't bad, but it wasn't really good enough either. Now,
the orb wasn't quite fast enough for it to get straight over Heavy there for him. He wanted to try and steal out from Mike. But instead, Mike takes it. Stacks even now into this fight with 5 seconds coming up to this Mega.
Straight onto it though in the LG. Oh, looking so strong. The final rocket there from SHrulez actually did him a world of good, especially with 5 seconds until the Heavy. If he wants to, I feel could go aggressive here. Chooses not to. Instead, he's going to pick up his weapons. He's going to bet on himself later in the game.
Really used to the spit there from Mike. I like how he's just throwing the spit out whenever he feels like it's a good opportunity, rather than holding it. Because that just gives him a chance to take away all these vials.
I mean, especially if you hit with just one hit, that's 50 damage. As we do have this fight, and Mike does very well with the rockets there in what should have been a more awkward fight. But as I was saying, if you do get them with the spit, that's 50 damage guaranteed. Plus, you basically used Visor's ability as well because you know exactly what
Yeah. And there again, he's immediately throwing it out, trying to trap SHrulez with it. Doesn't quite land where he wants, but SHrulez LG not quite strong enough, and Mike will take that next frag. Low on armor here.
It's funny, I actually almost feel like this is a scrappier, like almost more low-level game than what we saw previously. Both these players, just action figures mashing into each other around.
So they are both just going on the fights, go off the show. A orb there from SHrulez, not quite necessary, but pushes in on spawn here and the trade. Oh, Mike gets the spawn there, exactly where he died. Picks up that rocket launcher immediately. SHrulez gotta be careful because he may not expect this, and yet Mike's able to steal away that Mega. And catches him on the bounce point. Good rocket there from SHrulez to bounce him down. They may have just saved his life. But the rocket jump from Mike, pushing in. Great LG as well.
Yeah, real killer instinct there with the rocket jump. Did it pretty quickly as well. Made that decision just in time. That's decisiveness, and I tell you, that's one of the most important things in Quake Champions, because even among Quakes, this is a game about aim, about combat, and it's about actually pretty volatile fights because everything does so much damage. And so to make those decisions quickly is sometimes more important than making the decision itself.
Great use of the spit there. Put it in the TP exit, forcing SHrulez back through the TP. SHrulez does get a lot of damage there, but unfortunately it was just before the heavy, and with all the health and armor around this map and this side, like Mike is immediately straight back on a full stack.
From the low ground with the rockets, can't really hope for too much here, but we'll get the major. But SHrulez with a fantastic push.
So Mike not hitting any damage there, so SHrulez still in a very good stack here, and Mike, 40 health. He's got to get out of here.
And he's going to get to 100. He should have a light soon enough. Oh, maybe not. There it is. But yeah, big advantage from SHrulez right now. 5 seconds to a Mega. It should be his. How does Mike approach? He doesn't.
I'm surprised we see SHrulez let him get both those armor shots there. But he's playing this really well, Mike. Really quiet. Not making a single sound cue. Let SHrulez know where he is.
The boy has his Astro A40s turned up to max like it's 2011. He knows exactly where that one's at.
Then Mike gets one direct on SHrulez and it's immediately back to even stacks here.
Yeah.
Good HMG back.
Yeah, very good. SHrulez on the Mega though. Oh, this is... That was brave, I thought, from Mike. Oh dear lord, the bravery. Oh god.
Wow. Somehow, SHrulez... Yeah. There we go. Just back. That was a incredibly aggressive play by SHrulez, but using that super shotgun on the soul lag, it's super effective. So he did a good job there to take that one. But Mega coming up now. I don't know if he's going to be able to get there in time. Good bit of try bolts.
Yeah, very nice.
All this chip damage is doing really good. It's taking off the armor stack this soul lag has.
Yeah, and then the straight up engagement, if you're on even stacks, really, the lighter characters add an advantage, that hitbox being that much smaller.
SHrulez realizes how low he is right now. He can probably push into his see him. He does see him. No, Mike
comes out. Easy Mega for SHrulez.
2 frags in it. Still plenty of time for SHrulez.
Waiting patiently, both of them.
So both players have calmed down a little bit from what we saw at the start, but the orb, as I say that, immediately. Chaos in the middle. Mike super low, trying to get back up stack. SHrulez will be able to pull back onto this Mega, but Mike pushing there with a little bit of HMG, good little bit of chip damage, but just before the Mega comes up. So HMG is so critical on this map.
Yeah. It's just about this tiny little efficiency you can get out of... Oh, I love this as well from SHrulez. We saw a lot of Ratsu doing this on... but
the rockets from above.
Yeah, low ground.
From
it's not what you want to be.
Wow,
oh, maybe. You're fine. It's fine, SHrulez. Don't worry about it.
Just hit everything and that works for you.
Just hit rockets, mate. That's all you got to do.
Hit rock. Yep. Just missed out on that super shotgun. We'll click the mouse there. Gotta be careful because again, that machine gun, like, look, it's, you know, he might only hit a few shots, but that's all the armor. He can just like whittle away so quickly. But he does get that heavy. The orb straight in. Good damage from the orb. Pushed in with the super shotgun. Perfect weapon choice, but no, the second shot doesn't connect. And Mike alive on about 50 HP.
Great
Shrules knows how low
ideas.
he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
poor execution from Shrules. It's got to be said. That was lackluster once he jumped in, and oh, Mike, so much damage. And that is a problem because we're now having to start thinking about the clock.
Yeah. 2 minutes to go. Shrules doesn't need many frags, and Mike's still low. Like, he's got no armor at all at the moment. Mega coming up. Is he gonna let?
Oh!
Yeah, and the Tala frag. All right, here we go. Now, Shrules gonna be careful. Look at the stack though. The Soul comes up with, and the rockets immediately.
Yeah,
Shrules,
just two.
no armor.
Two perfect rockets out there from Mike, and that really changes things because now Shrules basically has to win every engagement for the rest of the game on an even stack. He's just got to win, and we've already seen that mechanically Mike has the advantage, and look, the stack disadvantage, Shrules still has to go for this. He doesn't have time not to.
1 minute warning.
1 minute warning though. Shrules got to get 2 frags to even this up, but Mike has got control at the moment.
And the problem is spawn fragging this, or like, even if you get that first one, isn't that easy.
Yeah. I'll say she spawns with such a large stack and the speed too.
Yeah.
Because yes, Shrules has got the orb up right now, but he's used it now. Is he going to even win this fight? Mike's on 1 HP, but he is burning here from the acid. He's got to get a health bubble. Mike steals away. Oh, the rockets.
That's it.
Beautiful prediction from Mike. He knew exactly where Shrules was going. He had the ticking damage. He knows that Shrules needed those health bubbles.
It's been a fantastic game, but I think that is all she wrote for Corrupted. Shrules will try a little bit more, but it's all for naught. It is going to be Mike taking map 1 in this best of 3, and he does it. I mean, with a little bit of a struggle. They were both very even here. A few pivotal moments, and I think especially the execution from Shrules wasn't always at the highest level. But yeah, still a fantastic game, and I think both should be feeling just okay going into map 2.
Yeah, I feel like map 2 could still be anyone's match.
Look at the LG difference, 30 to 41. Huge.
So if you told me that was the other way around, the medium champ hitting 41 on the heavy, and the heavy hitting the 40 on the medium, that would make so much more sense. But no, Mike on the Soul hitting 41% on G, extremely strong.
Yeah, extremely strong. Just keeps it together and makes it still. We will now go into map 2, and as you say, it's anybody's game. Shrules absolutely had his opportunities there, had his chances. Maybe didn't take them, but could. As we move on to, if I remember correctly, and I probably don't, Awoken.
You remembered correctly. Well done.
Ooh,
Got
let's go.
Strog for the Shrules and Doomslayer with Mike.
Okay, Strog's my favorite character in the game. I'm happy about that. Doomslayer is frankly an annoyance. They're always jumping over my rockets, Fuzzy. They're always jumping over my rockets, not an appreciator.
So Shrules he's gonna have to hit the LG in this match, because otherwise, yeah, Mike is just gonna run around his rockets and jump over them all, and it's gonna be extremely hard for Shrules. Rails as well. Gonna have to hit a lot of these long range shots.
I feel like
Exactly what you
Awoken
said
really
there.
has become like the Quake Champions map. Kind of cool. You know, we had obviously Blood Run.
Well, so especially here in Oz, like Awoken is just the only map some people will play.
Yeah, it's like the Arrowwalk of QC. It's nice.
So it makes the map is a fantastic map. So
yeah, I often thought when it first came out, I sort of had this feeling that it was maybe a little bit too simple, that it was going to get figured out and become quite boring in time. But actually, there's enough little details, little holes in the wall. The difficulty of the Mega Room, actually. I think the Mega Room is really interesting. Of course, you've got double high ground one side, high ground on the other, a jump pad. And there's a lot going on there. And the way that interacts with the telly is especially super interesting. So yeah, Woken is sort of the map for me. It's the seminal Quake Champions map. And glad to see it in this series. Doomslayer, a very common pick here. Strog as well, I feel like has just become a common pick everywhere. And I'm not too sure if that's because Strog is really that good, or just because crouch sliding is so fun.
Round begins in
I feel just the move, like especially on this map, like Strog is super common just because you can go around these corners so fast. Oh, initially, immediately, SHrulez with the rocket spawn, and the peek comes in immediately, but no, Mike's seen it and charged, but he only had machine gun, so minimal damage there, fortunately for SHrulez.
Yeah, it didn't
Mike,
go too bad. It's only LMG as well.
An unorthodox start, but not much damage yet from either player. Both sitting on about 100.
Okay, here's the second
Here we go,
mega.
this is good.
That's
Actually, got a pretty
demoralizing.
strong LG from SHrulez, but problem was Mike had the items up there and T to fall back on, so we're not quite hitting with a Pika.
No, I feel that, you know, if you get a whole mega on your opponent though and you don't win your LG duel, that's gonna hurt. And I think more so because it's gonna make you rethink how you take fights in the future. But we'll see. SHrulez currently in with the LG. The Fists of Fury come out, but it's only one punch. The second would have done it, but didn't manage to land. SHrulez now on the light. He's on the mega, and he should have position on heavy as well. Strog, a very, very fast champion as well, especially for a medium.
Oh, beautiful direct there from Mike, and now, yep, pushing in with this LG. And SHrulez wasn't ready for that. And beautiful LG there. Barely taking any damage. Mega coming up right now. He's got in position. And SHrulez just he's got to get out of here. Bring that peak rate again.
More so than any other Quake, that was Quake Champions. Just someone behind you with the LG, and you have so little time to react.
Yeah.
This is a game of such slim margins, of such punishing mistakes. And Mike knows it very well. He's on the heavy. He's used the ability. He is sitting pretty right now, waiting for this mega.
See the berserk kill. Always fun to see. How will SHrulez go about approaching this? And Mike's just pushing straight in. Yeah, but look, he's cut himself off now from this mega, and SHrulez will be able to take that. Great LG there from SHrulez, actually. Putting it back. Gotta be careful here. It's only got 50 health. Rocket jumping up, but
Oh,
SHrulez always falling off the map there, but that rocket, Mike. Finished him off around the corner while the peak was out.
Mike is, he's different gravy. He's playing an exceptional game right now. It feels like the last couple of these fights, you know, either should have been even or in SHrulez's favor, in my opinion. But Mike just showing me what I don't know.
I'd say Mike's been playing, and SHrulez with the rockets there. Getting a huge amount of damage off. So he's got to be careful though, doesn't have that much health, but he gets back up to T. Plenty of supplies up there for him. Trying to do play here. He's got to be careful because Mike is behind him on Banana there. And yep, there we go, the LG from behind.
And how much damage was that? What was that, 80, 90? Easy.
And Mike's now stolen the T position. Such a strong position on this map.
Yeah,
And
and it's such a strong position in control and out of control. It's just good. So it's the place to be. It reminds me of like 50 bubble on tops. Just nice. Nice place.
Oh, and Mike with the second berserk kill. He's just styling here. He knows how low SHrulez was. He didn't have the shotgun at the time, so it was actually a really good option. Is that guaranteed 75 burst damage. What do they do with rails here from Mike? Yeah, he's gonna fall back here. He needs help or he's really low.
Gets the armor as well. Onto the mega. SHrulez late to contest and can't even really look for exit damage. So our attention once again turns to the heavy in 12 seconds. SHrulez.
Sort of heard that LG to the jump pad, so we know where he is, but there we go. Mike pushing in now.
Oh, it absolutely does.
So that's the difference we see between like Mike and SHrulez here. Mike's always finishing these fights or entering these fights with that rail, and that first initial 90 damage. Sometimes what's winning the fights for him. SHrulez still doesn't even have the rail.
Oh, Should he commit here?
Like
I don't
it's
feel
a-
like he should.
No, he doesn't have the weaponry here. He's got no... Oh, he's pushed straight out, catches Mike here, but Mike with the berserk kill again for the 3rd time. Normally we don't see that get brought out to run away, but... Yeah.
5 minutes.
Mike's showing us it's one of his most deadly weapons.
If you only need one punch, there's not really much that can stop you, but SHrulez with a couple of rounds brings himself back into contention. He's got 5 minutes to make up 4 frags.
Very doable, and it's good to see he's finally got this railgun, and like he's doing work with it already. He needs to keep this pressure on. Seconds now, it's full heavy.
Mike quite
SHrulez
content to play slow.
Yeah.
Come in when he sees the peeker is used, and then backs away a little bit of damage. Trying to set up for... Ooh, I was going to say some damage mid-map. Instead, he's on the ground floor. SHrulez! Ooh. Needed to hit that one. Needed to hit that one as well, and it's a good situation. He just needs to clutch it out.
The machine gun damage, feet win. Super strong.
I'm feeling a
Mike actually
rage kill.
position. Yeah. SHrulez pushed in. Mike missing that rail. Uncharacteristic for him. Oh no, SHrulez misses the sit. He's going in for the punch kill again. It's no, we've seen it. What are we witnessing?
Dude, I felt it. I felt it coming on.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen this many frags with the Doomslayer punch in a single match.
Someone hasn't watched the GMT stream. And I'm not the one that plays Doomslayer. Yeah, easiest fight of Mike's life. Casual.
So Mike's got all the weapons, all the stack that he needs, and he takes these fights with SHrulez, and SHrulez can hit some decent damage in some of these, but then he's always got that major item to fall back on. Good.
Yeah.
Good damage here from SHrulez, pushed him off. And then even in the times like this, where Mike has lost the item, look at that, 2 rails after he picks up that heavy, and he's got no stack left at him.
Shoots peeker out of the air for good measure. Will be on this mega. And the frags 10-3 now, and I'm worried for SHrulez.
So we need some SHrulez magic now. There we go, that's a good start. Great rocket. Should be able to get this frag here. 14 health for Mike. There we go. Now SHrulez. Heavy is up. Does he know though? He doesn't, and Mike is going to be able to get over there and steal it. Peeker is behind SHrulez here, but... Oh, he doesn't quite pick it up!
Ooh.
So close.
Heartbreaker. I mean, luckily, I guess the game pretty much is over. It doesn't sting too much that you made that mistake, but...
Yeah, this wasn't a, you know, the frag that won or lost the match. I think if that was it, we'd all be a bit heartbroken, but... But Mike, he's just been playing a fantastic game. Showing us how the Berserk is supposed to be used.
Yeah. He looks really frustrating to play against as well, just because he hits well, and he just kind of shows up to the items. There's nothing too fancy about it. There's nothing too tricky. He's just playing the sound well, he's playing the items well, and it's very hard to outgun him.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. He's just got a really strong, just solid game. It is inferior. I played him a few times. It is infuriating to play him because, you know, it doesn't seem like anything overly special happened, but he always just hits so much damage, and he's always seems to be in the right spot. So here for Mike, I think he's looking for a punch, but no, couldn't quite get in there.
It's an interesting thing in arena FPS, especially with LG fights, where you play for a couple of minutes and you just go, oh, I can't take even fights. And then you're left for the next 8 minutes of the game kind of reeling, thinking, if I can't take even fights, what can I do? Because if they're on the items and, well, yeah, sometimes it can feel a little bit hopeless. You need to either be really creative or, you know, mechanically match them. And SHrulez didn't do a bad job. Didn't look like a complete blowout, but Mike undoubtedly with a superior performance and well deserving of this PZ.
Yeah, so Mike's just played a fantastic game. Just an extremely solid game all around. No gleam fakes or having a bit of fun with the Berserk, which is always fun to see.
Well, there
GG's all round. 5,000 damage coming out from Mike in that match.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Once again, 43 LG. Sometimes I hit half of that.
On the good matches,
So
right?
I'd be, yeah, it's extremely good play from both players. I just say it's just Mike's just sort of like that, just that step up in pretty much everything in that match. He was hitting stronger, he was in the right spot, he was playing around the items better, and all those little things. Just like, especially in that Awoken match, just those rails in between fights, before and after. Such a massive impact on SHrulez. It's like he couldn't push in after these fights because as SHrulez is running, as Mike's running away, he gets that extra 90 damage. SHrulez just couldn't keep up with.
Yeah, it was pretty comprehensive at the end of the day, but still a good battle. But we now move on to what we were saying was the main